Hello again to another Kotlin for Beginners tutorial. Today we will learn about two types of conditionals in Kotlin. And conditionals are just statements or expressions that you can use to control the flow of an application. So let's start with the first type here, which is the if-else statement. So here we have a variable called result, and it holds the result of this operation here. And we wish to check if this result is a positive number or a negative number. So the way to do this is with the if-else statement. So now, to begin, we first write the if, and then we open parentheses here. And in between these parentheses, we provide a condition. So we wish to check if it is a positive number. Now we write result is greater than or equal to 0. And if this condition is true, we wish to print positive. So here we open the curly braces, the opening one and the closing one, and here we print positive. But what if this number was a negative number? So here comes the else block, and underneath the if you write else, then you open the braces here, and here we print negative. Now let's run the program and check the answer. A negative number. Let's change this value to be a positive number, for example. So 10 plus 10 is a positive value. So if you wish to make this condition more readable, instead of giving the condition directly here within the parentheses, you can make a variable, for example, called is positive, and make it equal to this result here. And now you take the variable, which is a boolean, and you place it here. Now you're just gonna print the same result as before. You could also get rid of these curly braces if you want, but keep in mind that that's only doable if you have only one command to execute within the if body or the else body here. So we only have one command here, which is just displaying a message to the console. So we're gonna get rid of them, opening and closing, and see that the compiler doesn't give us an error because this is a valid syntax. But be careful because this might get super tricky. So say for example you want to print something when the value is only negative. So I'm gonna say here println testing. And if we run the program, guess what will happen? It prints positive and testing. So let's just talk about the flow of the program. So let's discuss the flow of this program here. So the result is 20. So it's surely a positive number. So we check if it's a positive, we print this. So we print it to the console here. And the else statement, we're just gonna skip it. And then we print testing. So testing is not considered to be within the scope of the else block. So it's just within the scope of the main. So the main function. So it's within the file. Now to resolve this problem, we could add now the curly braces. And if we run the program, we won't see testing no more. So just be careful when placing the curly braces with the if-else block. So in Kotlin, if and else are not only considered to be statements, they could also be used as expressions to evaluate some values. So let's see how this works. So instead of using the println twice, we could only use it once. So let's just delete all this code here, and I'm gonna write it from scratch. So I'm gonna make a variable called message, and now this variable is gonna equal to f, and here we provide the same is positive, so it's positive. So if this value is positive, the message is going to be positive, and else is not positive, so it's a negative. Now it's simpler and more readable. Let's print this to the console to check the result. Message. And here's our result. But what if you have multiple possibilities that go beyond if the value is true or false? As our example here, we have mark our student's mark, which is 70, and we wish to calculate his grade according to his mark. So notice we have made this grade variable with the var keyword as its value going to be changed, and it's of type char. So according to these ranges here, we will calculate his grade. So whenever the mark is in between 100 and 90, the grade is going to be A, and 89 and 80 going to be B, and so on. So here we're going to use the if-else expression to assign a value to the grade variable. So grade is going to equal to F, and here we check the first range. So whenever the mark equals 100 and mark greater than equal to 90. Okay, this is true. I'm going to assign A. Let's have another one. So the way to add more conditions, or the way to add more possibilities to the if-else block with the else if. And here we check the second range. So mark less than 90 and mark is greater than equal to 80 here. B for the second range, and else if the mark is less than 80 and mark is greater than equal to 70. We add C. Another one, else if mark is less than 70 and mark is greater than equal to 60 here. We add D, and the last else if the mark is less than 60 and mark is greater than equal to 50, we have E, and if none of these are true, we add F here. Let's do this. Now, whenever so this is according to the mark here. So if the mark is 70, then it must print C here, as this value, as the mark is in between this range here. So let's print the result. Println student's grade is grade. Student's grade is C. You may have noticed that the IDE gives us a warning telling you that there is more simpler way to check the value in a range. And in Kotlin we have something called the range operator, which is represented with double dots. Now to refactor this code and to write it in a more readable way, we could check for the range of this mark here. So we type mark, the variable, and we use the in keyword. Now we type the smallest value in the range, so 90 to 100. So this is equivalent with the what we had before. Now we do this one here. So mark in 80 to 89. Similarly for this one, mark in 70 to 79. Let's do the others. Mark in 60 to 69 and mark in 50 to 59. So if we run the program, we're gonna get the same result. C. Having several else ifs within your code might just decrease the readability of your code here. And as you can see, our code is not that readable. So here comes the second type of conditionals in Kotlin, which is called when. So when is just like if else, and it can also be used as an expression or a statement, but it just helps us to write the code in more readable way. So you type when, then you open the parentheses, and you just provide the variable or the value that you wish to compare to the conditions. So here mark, and then you open the when body, and here you write your conditions. So the first one is this one here, the range, and then you write a hyphen and the closing diamond bracket, you open the body. And if that's true, we're just gonna make grade equal to A, and here the second condition. And now if none of these are true, we can place the else here. And similarly with the hyphen and the closing diamond bracket, we write the grade is equal to F. Now this one here is equivalent to this one here, and you may think that the code is just larger or longer, but at least it's more readable. And just like the if else, you could get rid of these curly here if you have only one command. So let's just get rid of them and put them in one line. And now it's more readable. So we use the when statement. Let's just use it as an expression. So the IDE will give you a warning or a quick fix here. So left assignment out of the when. Now if you click here, now we use it as an expression. So that's it for today's video. We learned about how to use the conditional statements and expressions in Kotlin, and we also learned about the range operator. So hope to see you in the next one.